He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dre over here at Set Apart Gardens, man, where we teaching people to get back to the land, become self-sufficiency, and teaching people to have a preparation mindset to prepare for the worst, hope for the best, expect the best, but prepare for the worst. But real quick, man, I just want to go on a quick rant today because I was thinking about something, and I said this in one of my previous live videos, and it stuck with me. But if you don't have a plan, they have a plan for you. If you don't got a plan, the system has a plan for you, right? I just want to talk about that real quick because a lot of times we drift through life, right? A lot of times we are indoctrinated and we believe the propaganda without questioning a lot of the things that we see around us, and we just end up drifting through life. And a lot of times we don't have a plan as we're going through life. We're just, going from pillar to post. We're just chasing what they told us to chase instead of thinking, what truly matters in this life? What truly matters, in my everyday, life? What skills should I be having? What things should I be storing up? How should I be living, right? How should I be preparing? All these questions, right? And a lot of times we don't really think about it until it's too late, until we're forced to think about it. And that is by design. Your dependency is by design. From the time you were born, I'm talking about specifically here in the Western Hemisphere, in this country we live in, right? In America. Ever since you were born, you have been programmed to believe a certain paradigm, right? You've been programmed to be dependent on things. From the very inception, you've been programmed to be dependent on the conveniences that they have given us, right? It has been designed for you to be dependent on the food system. It has been designed for you to be dependent on all of these things to provide your basic necessities in life. Your food, your shelter, your water. All of these things have been designed for you to be dependent on them. Even the medical system, all of that, right? And that's no accident, because this is the thing. If the system can control how you get your basic necessities, whatever they say do, when they want to tell you to do something, they're going to make you do it, right? We saw it with the jabs. The jabs, they told us, hey, if you don't go get this jab, you're going to lose your job. You're going to lose your career. You're going to be put out the military. You're not going to be able to go to these places and those places. They told us that, and we were so dependent on these jobs, these supermarkets, these places where they told us where we can't go into if we don't have a mask or we don't have the jab. We were so dependent on these places that what did most people do? Most people went and got the jab, right? Because dependency, that's the goal of dependency. Now, just imagine in a time where in the future, right, and this is just, hypothetical, where they say, hey, in order to eat, you have to go and get this right here, what we say. In order to get water, you have to do this, right? Like, that is what happens when you're so dependent on something, and it's by design. And your dependency fuels the system. They know the more dependent you are to your phone, to your electronics, to the conveniences, to the AC, to the water source in the food system and the grocery stores and all of these different things, the more you are dependent, the more money they'll make. Because they know, okay, well, they got to go and buy this. They got to go and shop and buy clothes. Or they got to go and shop and buy these processed foods because their children are addicted to these cereals. Their children are addicted to these, chips and all of that, juices. So we're going to make money regardless because they're dependent. We put all of these additives and we put all these chemicals to make them crave it and want it. You see what I'm saying? And they know that. They know that as long as we can hook them early, we can hook them on our cartoon shows. We can hook them on our processed foods. We can hook them on all of these different things. As they grow up, they're not going to depart from it. So we know that that'll always be a source of income we can have from these people, right? And so if you don't have a plan about your life, if you don't have a plan to navigate and control your destiny and your family's destiny, they already have a plan for you. They already have a manufactured lifestyle for you. They have a manufactured home in a manufactured neighborhood, in a manufactured zone, in a manufactured city, in a manufactured state, right? Under a manufactured government, under a manufactured career or job for you. They have that already. But if you say, no, I'm going to navigate my own life, I'm going to manufacture my own lifestyle, and I'm going to be self-sufficient, I'm going to at least try to grow a little bit of my food or half of my food or most of my food. I'm going to start developing life skills. I'm going to start investing in real true life resources like land, like precious metals, like skills of carpentry, all of these different things that will stand the test of time. right? These skills and these resources that will stand the test of time. Hunting, fishing, all these things, right? I am going to, you know what I'm saying, learn how to graft fruit trees and grow fruit trees and grow orchards and, you know, have a nice garden. I'm going to learn all of these skills. When you start saying that and you start to think in terms of not only just survival, but thriving, you know, outside of the system. Now, of course, you probably still going to barter and trade with the system, right? I'm not saying unplug from everything, you know, just go totally off grid and all of that stuff. If that's your goal, then by any means necessary, do what you got to do. But I'm just saying, always have your bases covered, right? You can go and you can, you know, continue to go out to eat and do all this stuff, but have your basic necessities covered just in case, you know what I'm saying, the system starts to act up and we're in another situation like how the pandemic was. We're in another situation like that, and they're telling you got to do X, Y, and Z to be able to buy X, Y, and Z, or go here or go there. Have all your bases covered, right? And have the things that you need already. That's all I'm saying. Have a plan, because if you don't, they're gonna have a plan for you, right? Because this is the thing, self-sufficiency is a threat to the system, because like I say, the system depends on slaves. The system depends on your energy for them to capitalize off of. They capitalize off of your very existence, but in a servitude type of form, right? They don't want to pay you what you're worth. They don't want to give you what you're worth. They don't want to provide, you know, the things that they know you need. So they're going to try to just provide just enough just to keep you going and keep you running on the hamster wheel, right? While they can make as much profit and as much money and gain as much power as they can. That's the whole goal. But when you start to say, you know what, I'm gonna think for myself, I'm going to do for myself, and start trying to become self-sufficient, that is a threat to the system, right? But it is a benefit to you and your family. But this is the overall goal. This is what I truly want to say right now. Start developing your exit plan. Start trying to do what you can where you're at right now. I always preach this. If you go watching any of my previous videos, you know I preach, start where you are, do what you can. You know, I don't care if you're in a townhouse, if you're in an apartment, if you know what I'm saying, try to see what you can do. I was just down in Jacksonville yesterday, right? Because I'm from Jacksonville originally. I was just riding, right? And I saw a neighborhood garden. Right, this is a plot where the community comes together, right, and they garden. They all can take, you know, part in this garden, this community garden. There are multiple gardens like that where you can say, if you don't have a backyard, say if you live in an apartment or a townhouse, you don't have space to truly really grow anything. There are community gardens and community plots where you can take advantage of and start growing food there. You know what I'm saying? You can start asking people who are landowners, maybe older people who don't work the land anymore because they can't, see if you can start working their land for them, and y'all can work out a deal. Like, there is 1,000 ways to skin a cat, but this is the thing. Are you truly trying to take your destiny into your own hands and manufacture your own lifestyle? That's the question you got to ask yourself. But start developing your exit plan now, your exit strategy, and start working that plan, because again, you don't want to be caught in the cross. You don't want to be at the mercy of anybody. You don't want to be at the mercy of anybody. So start right now while you have time. And again, I'm not saying I know what the future holds, but all I'm saying is that it never hurts to have a backup plan. It never hurts to be properly prepared in the case of an emergency. But like I always say, man, he who has the power to feed you also has the power to starve you. See y'all on the next one.
Bombs over Baghdad really ain't that bad. Little wiretap, yes, yes. Little dodge in the IRS. Little haven from the taxman.